Hi, welcome to Think Big 2020, the Grand Final. My name's Romy Lawson and I'm the Provost here at Murdoch University, and it's a real welcome to have you all here today. It's great. We've got some people in the audience, and I know we've got a lot of people joining us virtually as well. We've got representation from the colleges, from the different central services. I can see the library at the back. I can see some of our student management team here with us, and the representatives from the colleges. I also know we've got some external guests here, which is great to see. Evan from Commonwealth Bank, great to see you, but we also have our external guests who've been both mentors for us and also run workshops for us. So a big thank you to them for being part of Think Big. It's a really important initiative, Think Big, for the university. It's that opportunity to do the value add, something different beyond what you do in the classroom. And it really does make a difference. Just being able to take that learning and apply it in this way is a really special thing, and it's a thing that will make you stand out. So to the students, a very big welcome and thank you for being part of this. I think we've been going for a number of years now in various different ways and different names behind it. For the last 3 years, though, we've included our cohorts in both Dubai and also Singapore. So it's been great to be able to have it as an international experience, and that's been very exciting for people to be able to have that experience as well. We're being hosted by the Launchpad, again, another great space that we have as part of the university, but it's more than just a space where people can come and sit and study and you know, have a bit of a nicer seat and funkier area to be in. It's got a real purpose for the university, and again, it's that value add that you can get as a student. So we talk about it being a place to create, where you can actually come here and work with other people and think about new ways of thinking and new ways to apply things. And you can do a lot of that in the fabrication lab that's behind us with the 3D printer and various different technology in there. But it's also a good place to collaborate. You know, we've set it up in such a way that we don't want quiet study going on. We actually encourage the opposite. We want to hear excitement and noise and, you know, people working together and actually brainstorming and bouncing ideas off each other. But the last thing it is a place to connect. And that is really, really important, because you need to go beyond the university. You need to think differently. You need to think about what else is outside the walls, the local community, the local industry, business, professional bodies. And this is the place where we hopefully give you that front door to open up and have that connection with those different parties that are external to us. So I always get very excited when we host things in the Launchpad, and I particularly like this Think Big activity. I think it's a great one and one that we want to continue. Taken on a whole new look this year, going virtual, and I know at the beginning of the COVID experience we had conversations about, can we do it, is it going to be possible, and we ummed and ahed a bit, but thanks to certain people who are around me, Mel, Jeremy and Matthew, they said we can do it, we can make this happen, and they've had more teams than ever taking part. So well done to the team that have been organising this in order to make it go forward. But before I finish, I really want to congratulate all the people who have actually put their hand up and took that big brave step to say, hey, we're going to have a go at this, we're going to see what it's like. Because, you know, seeing things on the internet, say, hey, do you want to be part of something? It's very easy to say, no, I'm not going to bother, that sounds a bit different, a bit taxing, a bit too much. But you all put your hand up and said, yeah, let's have a go at doing something different. Let's stretch ourselves. Let's try and think differently. Let's try and work with others. And let's try and think of some solutions that the world may need into the future. So it's a great step that you've taken, and I'm really proud of you all for taking that. And it's those kind of steps that are going to set you up for your futures. So I thank you all for being involved, because this is what Think Big's about. It's about you. With that, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to pass to the man of the moment, who will be our MC. So Jeremy, we're also very proud of Jeremy. He's our entrepreneur in residence, and one of the first universities, definitely in WA, to have an entrepreneur in residence to help support both our staff and students. And I think that's a really important thing that we have here, and I've seen the difference that he's made in the work that he does. So thank you very much, Jeremy, and it's over to you.
Thanks very much, Romy. And thank you to all our students and our sponsors and our team here at Launchpad. This is an exciting next 50 minutes to everyone here at Launchpad and also to everyone at home that's watching across the country and also internationally, family and friends that are tuning in from no doubt Singapore and Dubai as well, so we welcome them. As Romy was saying, that this is a culmination, really, Think Big, our grand final, of about 3 months of hard work and tireless nights for our student teams that really started off with about 15 teams. And we had some judging that happened during that period, and we narrowed it down to 5 teams. The 5 teams that you're going to listen for this afternoon is the 5 that really the judges have selected to now go through this process. And this afternoon and evening, we'll be watching, we're going to find out who's going to win Think Big. But I just want to say that it's not about the winning that's so important. And as an entrepreneur, the most important thing is about the process and what we learn along the way. That's what's exciting. It's not necessarily the goal that we're heading for. It's always the process and what you learn in the 3 months that teams have gone through. Just consider it as a win. What you've learned, the people you met, the mentors, sponsors, experts, industry experts, that's the win. So I just want to congratulate you all again. And it's been my absolute honour and privilege to be able to work alongside you. And today to MC this afternoon is a privilege. So I just want to explain the process for the next 50 minutes or so. What we're going to do is we're going to have each team come up and present for 3 minutes. Each team has 3 minutes to tell us about their idea and their startup. Then there'll be a minute of question time that I'll ask you straight after your presentation. And then once we've gone through each of the 5 teams, at the very end, there'll be a chance for everyone to vote. Vote for the best startup idea for one of our teams to take home $10,000, which is not a small amount of money. So that can make a real big difference to one of our student teams today. So that's the process for this afternoon. Now, I will ask you though, for everyone at home, to also be having their phones ready, because at the very end, we'll show you how the voting will begin. And there'll be a website that you'll go to, provided with a code, and you'll be given 5 minutes to get your vote in, and then we'll announce the winner. So, why don't we get started? I'd like to welcome our first student startup team called Prevento. So, Mohammed and your team, would you like to come up? Yeah. And you have 3 minutes. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you. We just need to set up the master. So hello everyone, we are Team Provento, and today we want to start our presentation with a simple question. Has any one of you guys been affected or lost someone of your loved ones due to paramedics team reaching late on time and providing critical support? Yes, I did lost one of my uncle and knew few of the family members among my friend zones. So we do understand the time span where the paramedics team need to reach on time to the spot to provide critical support is very important. Thinking of scenarios like in metropolitan areas like Perth, in cities like Perth or remote location, we came across surveys where city metropolitan areas takes about 30 minutes spend time in Perth to reach to provide critical support by the paramedics team. In times of remote areas, the time span is much more, so it's a life and death situation at a certain point, or through the effect is pretty huge. So we came with the solution of Smart Provento. Whenever we think of a ventilator system, we think of a large bed, a space allocation, huge budget of 3 to 10 grand or something. So we came with a solution of Smart, which is easily portable. As you've seen, we just walked with one guy, very lightweight, easy, handy, portable, go for a Sunday drive, take along, give someone you love so that it can be secure for their future. We thought of scenarios like, example, bushfire, where a large amount of animals and human beings were affected, where large smoke, where climate changes were hugely affected, right? People suffering from breathing issues like respiratory diseases has been very hugely impacted. So we want to give them a fresh breath of oxygen. We can extend our products to animals as well. Thinking of COVID, we came across there is a huge shortage of ventilators in the healthcare unit. We will extend this to provide health support someone we love, someone we can contribute to the society. We also thought of scenarios like example in remote areas where the electricity is a huge margin. It can overcome through the solar power. Now my friend, teammate will demonstrate the product.
Thank you very much. Now I'm going to talk about the prototype and how it works. So here are the main switch of the system, and here is the blood oxygen level sensor. So when I put my sensor here, then it shows the blood oxygen level, and according to the blood oxygen level, the machine starts automatically and provides the sufficient amount of oxygen as much as the body needs. So one of my group members is going to test the machine. So I switch on the machine. So he's putting his finger on the sensor. So when he put his finger on the sensor, then the display shows the blood oxygen level, and according to the blood oxygen level, the machine starts automatically and provides the sufficient amount of oxygen. If his body needs more oxygen, then the machine gets faster automatically. And here is the solar panel to charge the battery, so we can use it in remote area as well. So we have designed this box such a way so that we can put some medication here, some first aid box, and here is the additional feature to measure the body temperature. When I put my finger here, then it shows the temperature on Fahrenheit scale. And thanks.
Thank you. If we get 10 grants, we can create 25 prototypes and launch. We can create 25 prototypes, so we can test and get back to the contribution, as it costs only $400. Thank you very much.
Well done, Team Prevento. Thanks. Quick question. Who's your target customer?
Our target customer is anyone, normal people, anyone having respiratory diseases. So basically someone you want to give something for your Christmas for a loved one, buy unit, gift them, so they have the key to have their lifespan on them. Like example, you're suffering, you need a fresh breath of oxygen, someone caused an accident, you need certain critical support, everyone is in need of it.
Approximate cost?
$400, we made it.
Does it come with the briefcase as well?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks very much. That's
Thank
it.
you very
Well
much.
done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So next up is a startup called Broken, and I'd like to welcome its founder, Brian Gara. Thanks, Brian. Just use this one here.
Hi everyone, I'm Brian, and I'm the founder of Broken. Broken is a very unique experience where it's Perth's premier object destruction room, where we like to live and die by a motto that it's the only place where you're expected to break what you can buy. Now in Broken, it's a very easy scenario that you come across quite often, where I was placed at work and I was asked to dispose of a bunch of e-waste all at once. And I had a giant skip bin to do it in. And I just found myself throwing it all inside, just breaking it to pieces. And there's nothing more fun than that, trust me. And I invited all my buddies in from work, and everyone agreed that it should be a business. And upon researching it some more, I found that there are quite a few actually all across the world, including the East Coast. There's actually 4 locations of a similar business running. And at the time, I was the first one looking at it in Perth. Since then, there's been some other coming in. And I found that I needed to turn the tires on the topic in general. And what I figured out is that I want to do a mobile option, and there are none like this in the world. And a mobile option allows me to go party to party or in a single location. And you'll have a themed room inside the trailer where you get to smash your office apart. Maybe it'll look like a bedroom when it comes to you. But one thing's for sure, you get a bat, you get a helmet with a mask, and you walk into that room and you have 5 minutes to jam out to music and do whatever you want in there. It can be an open experience or it can be closed. And I've spoken to doctors that are PTSD experts, counselors, and everyone agreed with me that this is not just a great option to express these feelings, but it's a safe, healthy, and fun option. Now, when you walk into that room and that music's playing and the 5 minutes are up, often people walk out and they don't know what to do with those feelings still. And along those lines, I'm actually looking to make this more of a community effort, where I've partnered actually with a few float tank businesses and meditation places. And you can really do a lot with that afterwards. So the model with it is a pay-as-you-go. We're going to treat it like a bowling alley. So at first, you can pay $25 for that initial 5-minute session, and you can keep going. It can be a corporate retreat. We can do all sorts of stuff, barbecue outside. And like I said, it's mobile, so this can be filmed. You can buy the footage later on as well. And I really, really enjoyed creating this business. There's nothing better than this process of destroying stuff. I'm not an angry person, but it's really fun to do. And I'll tell you what, 10K will get me a trailer, get me a location to park, and storage for all my stuff. And eventually, this business will become a community drop-off point for recycling and e-waste in a location you get.
Well done, Ryan. So there for me. Quick question. What are some of the risks involved with this business? Have you looked at insurances? What does it entail around that in terms of if I were going to come there to your raise room?
Yep. Well, I'm fully insured. It's treated just like a sports team or something along those lines. I have actually better insurance than paintball. Or if you were to stand in the middle of a bowling alley and the bowling ball would hit you, it wouldn't be covered. But if it was my insurance, it would be covered. So I'm good with that. The only thing people need to do is have pants and closed-toed shoes.
Fantastic. And what's your vision for Broken? Obviously, first mover advantage into the Perth market, but where do you see this going?
Well, I'd love to have a few locations across Perth. And like I said, I want it to be a community drop-off point for recycling. To encourage more sustainable options, because I found that through my bulk pickup is where I get most of my stuff from. A lot of people are just throwing away not only good stuff, but stuff that should be recycled, and it just goes right into the waste stream, the landfill. So I really look to remove that from landfill and have a few locations, like I said, across Perth, Joondalup, and we can go out from there.
Fantastic. Well done. Round of applause again for Ryan Mara from Broken. Thank you. I'd like to welcome our third team to the stage. Ramon Skane, the founder of Geofly, and Henrik. Ramon will be presenting. This student startup hopes to take concrete waste and turn it into concrete gold, as they like to call it. So welcome, Ramon Skane.
We're good. All right, let me just set this up. Everyone can hear me?
Yep.
And I'm in frame. Okay. I'm Ramon Skane, and today I'll be representing myself along with my fellow environmental engineering student peers Henrik Gildenhuis, Georgia Ross, and mentor Dr. Martin Hender. I'll be pitching our startup, Geofly Concrete and Cement, and we'll be introducing you to the future of manufacturing in Western Australia. This here is normal old concrete. Globally, about 4.5 billion tonnes of this is produced every year around the world, or 7.5 million tonnes in Western Australia. It is the most manufactured product in the world. As part of its creation in Western Australia, a lot of the materials inside this is imported from overseas and heated at excessively high temperatures, requiring a tremendous amount of electricity. For the global production of concrete, this electricity demand accounts for almost 8% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions and contributes negatively to the human-induced climate change. If concrete was its own country, it would be the third largest emitter of greenhouse gas emissions after China and the United States. Responding to the crisis of climate change, several industries have begun transitioning to an eco-friendly outlook by decreasing industry emissions and following greener regulations, such as Green Star ratings, to encourage the use of sustainable materials in general construction. Now, whilst these solutions will help in the fight against climate change, I'm here today to offer you a new solution. At Geofly, we have a humble dream to completely revolutionise the concrete industry starting in Western Australia, and we aim to do it with this. Now, this is Geofly Concrete. Now, although it looks very similar to normal concrete and is just as strong, this is a product made almost entirely from waste materials, such as construction and demolition waste from landfill sites and fly ash from coal power stations. The integration of waste materials into this makes it a product cheaper for the consumer, meets greener guidelines, and actively reduces pollutants to be used in manufacturing. Furthermore, Geofly Concrete can be made anywhere at room temperature, no high temperatures required. From our tests, this means that this concrete can be made with 80% less greenhouse gas emissions when compared to normal concrete. So essentially, we're cleaning up the world, turning the waste into resources, and providing customers with an environmentally friendly alternative product that's cheaper, made in Western Australia, and meets greener guidelines. The team and I at Geofly are as ambitious as we are passionate about this product and want to do everything we possibly can to make a change. However, we can't do it alone. Along with seeking investment, we're also looking for like-minded individuals to help us in our journey, to make the world a better place built on a better Geofly concrete foundation. If you share our passion, please provide concrete evidence with voting for us in this competition. And thanks for listening.
Well done, Ramon. I'll get you to still stay
No
there.
worries.
Quick question.
Yep.
What sort of market feedback have you had already, if any, in terms of for the product?
So we've had a lot of market feedback. Right now, this sort of concrete is, so there are publicly, like with the Metronet project, I think this mic is coming out, sorry. With the Metronet project for the transportation sector. Thank you. Currently, there are many projects, including government projects like the Metronet project, where they're importing concrete from Canada. And then in the private industry, they're also importing concrete similar to this from the Netherlands and Europe. So even though concrete is being made in Western Australia, despite being imported from other places in the world, it's not actually being used. So this is a cheaper product, 20% cheaper than conventional concrete, and can be used for any application that concrete can be used for. So in terms of market acceptance, this is the product the industry is waiting for.
Awesome. Thank you very much, everyone. Well done. See the passion just coming out. Thanks, Ramon. All right, I'd like to welcome our next team, which is Launchpad. Launched Inc. Rebecca Mode, I'd like to welcome you. This startup is about helping young entrepreneurs. So I'd love to hear about this too. So, Rebecca, welcome.
Thank you. So, a few years ago, I had an idea to create a greenhouse for vertical farming. I could see the damage that was being done to the ecosystem by the food industry. I had just moved from Perth to the country and I was living with 4 others. It came time for me to create my physical prototype, which obviously was going to be quite big. I realised I didn't have the space. I was in a dorm room which was quite small and the shared living space was obviously not fine to create a greenhouse. I did a quick search and realised Perth doesn't offer a space like this. Somewhere where I could take my bits, my equipment, leave it there, develop my prototype, and get that creativity happening. So it became evident that this was something that needed to be solved before my greenhouse idea. This is how Launched was born. We're targeting early stage startups, aged 16 to 28 years old. Through a survey that we developed during our validation process, we realised that people wanted extra on top of their warehouse space. They were looking for mentorship, networking, and more. So we listened. Through a tiered membership program, Launch members gain access to their individual warehouse space where they can bring their equipment and their products to develop and get that prototype happening. They also have the ability to go to the central space in our warehouse called the Innovation Hub. We've created this for collaboration, networking, brainstorming, and to get those creative juices flowing. Through credits, they can also gain time with our on-site mentors, each having their own expertise to offer. We fit at the start of the business ecosystem. We're the space you go to when you're in your experimental stage and you want to get a bit messy and a bit dirty and get things happening. Yes, there are spaces like Space Cube or WeWork, But these spaces only really offer something if you're looking for an office or if you're in tech. I couldn't imagine going to Space Cube with my hacksaw and my wood and my potting mix developing my greenhouse. Our ideas for the future are to collaborate with schools and universities and to create structured programs that help these young people move from the school environment into the business world. When you look in this room, you can see so many people have already pitched today. These are the sorts of ideas that you will see in Launched. People who are developing concrete and doing sampling, or people who just want to smash things up, or maybe someone who wants to develop a ventilator to help people for in the future. With 10K, we could get these sorts of businesses out into the industry in Perth to grow our businesses. So get your tap on and vote for us. Don't just do it for the kids, do it for the future. Thank you. I'd like to just invite my co-founders, Brian and Kavya, for our question.
Well done to the three of you. Congratulations. For getting this far. Quick question. So, what is some of the pricing that you're going to have for your members?
We're starting with a 3-tier system. So we'll be starting at a low, affordable price for high schoolers and moving up to a little bit higher price for the actual physical real estate of that. So the basic membership will just have regular 9 to 5 access to the shared innovation area, where the top tier has 24/7 access, along with the warehouse location or physical space that you always have access to. And then we'll have one open day a week or a month that people can actually shop those products.
Fantastic. Just follow-up questions to that. Which young entrepreneurs are you targeting? Are you targeting all young entrepreneurs with any type of startup or particular industries, or is it just for everybody?
Well, I think that will come in time.
Yeah.
To start, we're going to target all businesses and then see if there's a bit of a trend or a niche that comes from that. And then we might sort of set a focus to that particular need.
Awesome. Well done again. Round of applause for Team Launch Team. Thank you. Okay, so now we have our last team to present. Team number 5. And I'd like to welcome Jordan Jupp with his startup called Leap. Welcome, Jordan.
Thanks, Jim. I would like to talk to you about a tough subject that means a lot to me today. Studies show that 50% of mental health conditions that we experience in our lifetime have started to develop by the time we're only 14 years old. And in 2018, the leading cause of death between the ages of 15 to 24 was suicide at 38.4%, and that was pre-COVID. These statistics just absolutely frustrate me as much as they do you and concern me, and that's led me to making this initiative to combat Leap. My name is Jordan Jupp, and today I want to talk to you about first my story, my passion, and my vision. I had an amazing upbringing in the country with experiences and that I would not trade for the world. Experiences that I wouldn't trade for the world. But nonetheless, I still developed depression at the age of 16 and didn't recognise it until 22 years old, where it had become a personal crisis. In hindsight, there was just so many things which could have helped, and from what I know now, I know one of them. Leap is an initiative that produces a proactive approach to the mental health and well-being of adolescents and young adults. Leap cultivates mental and life skills and provides an approach to mental health that will give people that might not have it, empowering opportunities. LEAP will target a diverse range of communities, including Indigenous and LGBTQIA plus others, from the city to the country. And it using and focuses on mental health and wellbeing, community projects and service to the greater community, and career and life skills. I'm here today to ask for social enterprise contacts, resources, and funding opportunities, and also your vote. Because with this, I want to start a LEAP task force which will work alongside our program to work with government agencies and also foundations in the mental health sector. And my vision from this task force is to create something that will make a difference to the future generations, and yeah, together we can leap forward. So thank you for your time.
Thanks, Jordan. Well, firstly, thanks for being so honest and open with your story and sharing it before all of us here and to people online. So well done with that. Question: what sort of traction have you had to date around LEAP?
So currently we have an existing pilot project running, which has reached over 60 individuals between that age group of 12 to 24. We currently have 10 mentors signed up from a range of backgrounds based around life and career skills, mental, and those three groups we're talking about with mental and health and wellbeing, career and life skills, and then service to the greater community. And we have just contacts throughout the city of Perth, country WA, and actually over east too, which we're starting to develop with. So yeah.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, a round of applause again for Jordan. All right, everybody. Well, that time has come. Time for voting. So while Mel's loading that up, already loaded it up. Well done. Okay. Just before we pull out our smartphones and go to this website, just a quick recap while you're doing that. So you can go to your smartphones now and go to menti.com and enter the code 3123532. So that code again, 3123532. For those at home that can't see the screen properly, but menti.com, which is just MENTI.com. So while you're doing that, I'll recap teams just to refresh your memory. Our first team that came up was called Provento. Our second team was Broken. Our third team was Geofly. Our fourth team was Launchpad Inc. And our fifth team was Jordan with the LEAP program. So we'll give you another 4 minutes to get your votes in, and that's menti.com, and code again 3123532. So the votes are coming in. great to see those votes. Local, national, international, got over 100 people voting at the moment. So great to see participation for our Think Big Grand Final. And while we're waiting for the voting to close, we've got another minute and a half. I just want to take this opportunity to just thank all our industry mentors and experts, some of them in the room today. Thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to work with our student teams. Thank you to our executive at Murdoch University here for supporting our students through this competition. In times like this, it's always good to innovate and create and start new businesses. So well done to you all, and thank you all to our sponsors as well for making this happen. Like I said, this is not the end of the journey. It's not about the 10 grand. It will be to someone in this room, don't worry. But like I said, to all our teams, it's the process. It's the new people you've met. It's what you've learned. You've all been through the lean canvas. And don't forget, you want to progress this idea forward, you are welcome to do that in your own capacity with our startup community. And of course, the startup community that's watching it, I also want to thank the team, Maxine and Brontia at Spark Festival, for allowing us to have a national platform to promote Murdoch University's Think Big Grand Final. So I'd like to thank them as well for giving us this opportunity. All right, time is up. I'd like to get Mr. Rowan Lawson to come up, Provost, to announce the winner.
I'll also say, just while we're waiting, I've been coming to these finals for the last 4 years, and wow, today was very, very impressive. Yeah, not just the issues that you've identified that need looking at, but the solutions. But I think what's really struck me is how far you've gone in finding those solutions. You actually have got prototypes, you've got things that you can show and say, look, it's not just an idea that you think might work. You've actually got the proof that these things will work. So please carry on with your ideas. They are things that will change the world. Every single one of the teams have presented something that will make a real difference. So don't see this as, oh, it was a 3-month, we were part of Think Big. See this as a start of something that you can do to change the world, because it's really, really important, and you will have a place to do that. And I'm so proud to know that you're all Murdoch students. So thank you for that. A bit more suspension. Perhaps it's because you're all winners. We don't need to know which name's being churned out at the end.
I'm nervous, but
Secret writing now.
writing it. Sorry.
Everyone look that way. Well, I'm very much delighted to say that we have a winner, and it was our first team that came up and presented to us. So congratulations, Provento. You are this year's 2020 winners. Congratulations. Come on up.
I'm so nervous.
Just 1 minute. Just 1 second.
Do you want to say a few words?
Yeah, one second.
Yes, we got time.
Really
We got time.
happy. We don't know what to speak, to be honest.
You didn't have a speech prepared?
No. We are pretty shocked, a bit like, oh, we are like so stressed. I don't know what to say. Been working like too hard. Yesterday, we dropped mail to Mel at 2 a.m. asking for stuff for clarification. Been trying. We're really thankful for this, and we hope we get the ideas forward. Thank you very much for choosing us. You want to speak something, guys? Go ahead.
Thank you very much, guys. We have done a lot of hard work to done this far. Thank you very much. It's very appreciable.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Well
much.
done. Thank you.
Yeah, so every single team deserves a big round of applause. Everyone has really done a great job, and just to recognise that, we have a certificate and a book just to say thank you very much. Jordan.
We're not meant to appreciate, are we?
Well done, Jordan.
Are we taking photos, anyone? No? Okay.
Geofly, Ramon's game. Well done.
Really great job.
Rebecca Mode, Brian, Cabby from Launched Inc.
Well done. Great job. Making sure everyone's successful there. Cabby? There you go. Well done.
Brian.
Right? Yeah. There you go, Brian.
Well done, guys. Well done. All right. It's Provento. You come on again and get your certificates. Well done again, guys. Well done. Roshan,
There you go. Well done, Roshan.
Abhishek.
So there.
Oh,
There you go. I don't want to give you the
That's
wrong,
me. Thank
the
you.
wrong certificate. Well
Yeah.
done.
Thank you.
One of our team members will collect it later.
Yeah, that's fine. No worries at all. No worries.
Well, I think that's it. We're coming to the end. Thank you all for joining us who've been online. It's been great to be part of the Spark Festival. Thank you for everyone who's been in the room. Yeah, it's every time I see our students in action, I just get a sense of pride. And as I say, these are things that will make a difference in the world. So thank you for being part of world leaders into the future and doing these things that really make a change. So with that, Jeremy, thank you very much for your work. The team who put it all together, I know it's 3 hard months, our external members who are here who've been supporting it all along the way and give that really valuable industrial advice. It's really important. So thank you all. Goodbye.
Thank you.